Moments ago on the House floor, a 74-year-old congressman, 74 years old, froze and had a medical episode. It's shocking to see. I have that clip. It's right here. But while you're watching it, I want you to keep in your head the following facts. This is from my Substack called No Lies Detected. I hope you check it out. I put a lot of time into it. I release something weekly. But in this one, I talk about America's AIDS problem. Americans are some of the youngest people in the rich world, yet our elected leaders are easily the world's oldest. The average American is 39 years old, while the average member of Congress is 59, a 20-year gap. Japan has the world's oldest citizens on average, 47, but their elected leaders are positively preteen by comparison at 56. Fully 18% of our legislators are over 70, and no other country's total exceeds 8%. So we have an old ass system of government with old ass people in it. And I am not ageist. I think it's so important to have young people and old people to tell the young people how to do it. And so that the young people know what they're doing when they get into it. But there are a lot of people in our government right now who are holding on to power when they have no business being there. They need to be at home, resting, taking care of themselves, and letting people who are younger, have more energy, vitality, and new ideas get in there. One last quote, I'm going to show you this clip. Democrats make up 15 of the 20 oldest senators and 15 of the 20 oldest representatives in the House in the 18th Congress. I have a lot more thoughts. Here's the video, and let's talk about it afterwards.
Don't worry, no one on the Republican side in the House and Senate who control both the House and Senate is going to speak up and challenge us. But we need to protect Americans' privacy and their social security. For 40% of all Americans,
the gentleman's time has expired.
Now, it brings me absolutely no joy showing you that clip. No joy. I think it's tragic. I think it's sad. It's hard to watch. But we must watch because we cannot stand by as people who are not up to the fight that we are in right now. I personally believe we are in the middle of one of the biggest and most important fights in our country's history. Donald Trump is doing everything he can to consolidate power. He has a Republican Party willing to give him it, and courts are trying to stop him. And Donald Trump, Elon Musk, the world's richest man, and his vice president have all said the courts aren't allowed to do it, okay? So we need people who are willing and able to fight. And that means fight like no one else has fought before. Do we believe Rep. John Larson here is willing and able and ready to give us the fight we need against the authoritarian takeover in our country? No, I don't believe that. Do we believe that this is the face we want for the Democratic Party? The party's supposed to be the party of the future, the party of what's next, the party of new ideas. Is this who we are?
Win. We will win. We will win. We will win. We won't rest. We won't rest.
With Maxine Waters, who's 80, there's a cane right here being waived. And again, I know so many people who watch this channel are either retired, heading towards retirement age, or might be, in their twilight years. And I have complete respect for people who have lived a life and have experience. I think it's valuable. But there's also value in knowing when to let go and knowing when it's time to pass the torch. And I cannot stand by and watch my country potentially fall apart without pointing out the problems, the very real problems within our own party that are so easily solved. I don't know how we're going to be able to fix the problem of Donald Trump not listening to the courts. I do know that it's very easy for Chuck Schumer to say, all right, it is my time to step down. That's something he could do. That is very simple. And I think it would make us, our party stronger and make us more ready to stand against the authoritarian takeover of our government. Same thing with this congressman here. As a personal story, this is sad, and we might have a tragic dimension as a way of running a government and political party. It's indefensible. Democrats can't say they're all hands on deck against autocracy when the major public faces of the party are so clearly facing health issues that prevent the basic public task of effective communication. Here is what Ryan said about this moment. He ran for senator in Ohio.
Yeah, I just, sitting here in Ohio and watching that all go down, you just think that is not the messenger, and that's not kind of the visual we need, I think, to start turning this thing around. And I just think, Schumer's brand is not good. And all of the things that you guys just, itemized and illustrated, it doesn't matter if you don't have a message and a messenger that can communicate that thing.
Exactly. We need a message and a messenger who can communicate it effectively. AOC was kept out of the top spot in a congressional committee from a man who has throat cancer. Do we think someone who is battling throat cancer, a deadly form of cancer, is more ready to take on the task of keeping this Republican authoritarian takeover to task? Cancer is a very hard condition. Fighting it takes a lot of energy and time. And I worry that it's a metaphor for what is happening in the Democratic Party. That instead of letting go and allowing our representatives who have served their country nobly and respectfully and letting them heal and get better, we're instead held hostage by people who are too old, too unwilling to look at themselves honestly, and our country and our party is suffering for it.